Hi friends, welcome to Annamaya IAS Academy. Today in this video we will try to discuss about Kampala Principles. Kampala is the capital of Uganda. When Narendra Modi has visited Uganda and gave address to the Parliament of Uganda, he has come up with 10 principles for engagement between India and Africa. And these 10 principles, they are called Kampala Principles. If you see the first principle, Africa will be at the top of Indian priority. India will intensify and deepen engagement with Africa. This is the first principle. And the second principle says India's development partnership with Africa will be guided by the priorities of Africa. And India wants to build a local capacity and create local opportunities in Africa. And India wants to help Africa to fulfill its potential and will not constrain its future. The third principle says India will keep its markets open and make it easier and more attractive to trade with India. Indian industry will also invest in Africa. The fourth principle says India will harness India's experience with the digital revolution to support Africa's development. The fifth principle says Africa has got 60% of the world's cultivable land but produces just 10% of the global food grain production. So India wants to work with Africa to improve Africa's agriculture. Sixth principle says India's partnership will address the challenges of climate change. Seventh principle says India will strengthen cooperation and mutual capabilities in combating terrorism and extremism and also tries to secure cyberspace of both regions. And the eighth principle says India will work with African nations to keep the oceans open and free for the benefit of all nations. Ninth principle says as global engagement in Africa increases, India must work with all together to ensure that Africa does not once again turn into a theater of rival ambitions but becomes a nursery for the aspirations of Africa's youth. The 10th principle says, just as India and Africa fought colonization together, they will work together for a just, a representative and a democratic global order that has voice and a role for one-third of humanity that lives in Africa and India. That's it about Kampala Principles. Thank you.